Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to my channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel and all my channels, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I look at everything, but we take time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, to see how they play it as karmic themes, to help you understand why your person's doing what they're doing, why you're attracting that person into your life, and what you can do to change the energy. A lot of times we feel like we can't change the energy because we're dealing with an avoidant person, someone that withdraws, someone that projects, someone that's more living their trauma. See, that's what relationships do. Relationships have a way of bringing up our traumas, our past traumas. And so what happens is that when we are in a relationship and someone does something that triggers us, we actually go back to that original time that actually a similar situation or a situation that had that same karmic theme plays out. So if a person always makes you feel not worthy, and they do this by being an avoidant, well, that's again a trauma. And it's a trauma that is playing out, saying you actually have to heal something with inside of you. Yes, it's not right that that person does whatever they do, but it's not about controlling another person. It's about controlling you. And when you change, you automatically change the dynamic of your connection. And this is really important when you're dealing with a past life karmic mate, like if you're, God forbid, in a trauma bond type of connection, or just dealing with a person that's of a low vibration. You want to be able to discern how not to take on that energy. And it's really important because, like I said, it's the people that you surround yourself with that will create the reality that you live. So if you find that you're always around people that try to make you feel bad about yourself or put themselves in competition with you, or again, just whatever that lower energy is, you would very well consider not being around those people. Like, because at the end of the day, when you're around people that make you feel as if you're not worthy, well, then it's technically really impossible to manifest the life and the life experiences that you want to have. And the reason why is because, like I said, people have a way of creating the illusions that they want you to believe and perceive. And then your habits and your behaviorisms are built on those distortions and not really your true self. Your true self is the higher self, and that's the God part of self. And it's to understand that we're here to give and receive of love through how we choose to do it, which means that we're supposed to be the expressions of love. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to hold the vibration of unconditional love, which is the energy that you need to be in order to have successful relationships and in order to really manifest anything. Problem is that we go through experiences that make us feel pain, whether that's victimization, whether that's betrayal, whether that's whatever the lower energy is, it doesn't matter. There's only two energies, love and fear. So the key is to try to maintain the energy of unconditional love and still be interactive with people in your life. A lot of people that have trauma say, I can manifest as long as I'm by myself. So again, that there's still blockages. So again, we want to always understand why things are playing out so that you take your power back, so that you can alchemize the negative energy. And that's what we do here on this channel and all my channels. Yes, we look at the karmic things that play out and what your person's going to do, what they did do, how they feel, all the things that our ego wants to know to, like, you know, satisfy. We want to be satisfied with answers. Only understand the ego will never be satisfied. So if we heal the trauma, well, then those things are less important. And that's important because we don't want to ruminate on someone that keeps us stuck in a low vibrational energy. Now, I don't know why I channel what I channel in the beginning of a reading, but usually there's some truth. There's some truth that we're going to see play out within the reading. All right, anything of any importance or relevance to the channel, you can find in the description box. For those of you healers that have joined my shadow healing coaching, I will be offering the live stream tomorrow. I'm doing Virgo today. Tomorrow I will be on doing Scorpio. So I just wanted to say you have time. If you haven't signed up, click on the link below. It's going to be really fun. It's interactive. We do it in a group with shadow cards, and understand being that the group is really small right now, um, you're going to get like private coaching. That's what it's going to feel like. So, and it's just going to be fun because we do it with oracle cards, and you learn a lot. Because in my oracle system, I have over 100 different shadow healing exercises. And so you do learn, you do heal, you do get to vent, and eventually there'll be a community there, all for just $7.99 a month. And I'm going to be on a few times a week. Right now, I'm still, trying to get people to join and organizing days and all that. All right, let's see what the underlying energy is. That tells us why everyone does what they do. The underlying energy is overstimulation. Let's get another. Disappointed. So that's the thing. You're in connection with someone that I feel like is realizing your value. Someone that didn't treat you as anything, kind of disposed of you. And this person is not in a good place right now. It's not just with you, but and you know what's crazy? If bad things weren't happening in this person's life, I don't think that this person would have thought about you. I feel like you're connected to someone that's in a really bad place because overstimulation is created from too much thoughts and too much emotion. And this person is not expressing their emotions. They don't know like what to say. They don't know how to fix the connection with you, but understand it's like you somehow are connected to what's going on in this person's life. And the thing is, you see them as a disappointment and they know it. And so we see why. They neglected themselves. They neglected giving you, but really what they did was they neglected themselves. So, and they were just negative. They were childish. They were insecure. That's what it's showing. And they just came in and out of your life, is what I feel. Like intermittent manipulation coming in and out of your life creates actually brain damage. Really does. It creates a lot of trauma because this person never let you get comfortable. You didn't feel safe with them. It's like they tell you one thing and their actions were not really not what you felt. They did come to you and you did hang out with them, and but it's like the type of connection was more surface. This person, every time they would get close, they would pull back. There was a sense of disassociation. And that's where this person had a very hard time like expressing their emotions, feeling their emotions. I feel like this connection brought up a lot of trauma for both of you. And so instead of this person fixing it, they kept it kind of in limbo. Like disequilibrium is that it's out of balance. It's like because they didn't know what to do. So they didn't give you time. Then when they realized that they didn't give you time, they didn't fix it. They held back. They played games. They toyed, being like, well, maybe you'll reach out. Now, what's happening is they're becoming very impatient because what they're seeing is you're not coming to them. Is again, and they're looking and they're seeing what they did and how they did it. And that, they didn't want to be confronted. And anytime that you did confront when you were, actually spending time with this person, they were very defensive. And you just felt very constrained in the relationship, almost like this person was always distracted, like there was something else or someone else, somewhere else that they would rather be, and then it just that you feel like they like to create trouble in life. It's like they get in their own way. What happens is that they will hang out with you and everything will be good, and then all of a sudden they withdraw and they create a little bit of drama, and then what happens is they go back to being their regular self. It's almost like whenever the relationship calls for deeper intimacy, this person like reacts in a sabotaging manner. They wind up just being in destruction, like in their wake. It's like, and the reason why is because they get very insecure, and so instead of them tending to their own business, they want to again try to control yours. And so the problem is that again, when it says destruction in their wake, it's like this person gets so triggered. And so their behaviorisms come out. And let's see what their behaviorisms are when they withdraw, because that's what you're seeing. You're seeing that the relationship is a strong connection, but then this person weaves in and out of your life, and some when they're there, everything's great. And then what happens is that they disappear. And then they create like drama, unnecessary drama. And so that drama will comes in many different forms. So we look and we see again, like their inner child is triggered. We wanted to see like what are the behaviorisms, okay? The spirit's saying it's like from their wounds. So they have money issues. So I feel like this person overbuys. They live beyond their means to create the illusion like they have more, and they have money issues because of it. So, a relationship, a good relationship that grows, there's investment. Like that it's that you do for me, I do for you. It becomes like that. Not that you're saying, "Oh, give me," but when you're building emotional intimacy, you're spending your time, your energy, your resources. You're investing in a person. Okay? This person has money issues because they've created the illusion that they're someone else than they are. So they don't feel good about themselves. They're covering their insecurity. And because of that, it affects the level of intimacy that they can have. Again, the illusions. This person didn't like who they are. They haven't created enough of who they are. And that's what happens. When a person has gone through experiences that they judge themselves due to the experiences and they haven't created enough of self. See, a person that's created themselves doesn't look at themselves through what's happened. They don't judge themselves whether a person treats them badly, whether they get fired, whether they get, it's again, those are experiences that, yeah, they aren't pleasant, but they shouldn't define. This person let certain situations define them because they haven't found enough and haven't created enough of themselves. And what I feel like is that this person, of course, didn't see the relationship when they had the opportunity to really see it and nurture it. What happens is that they were running around being impulsive, and impulsive is, you see this person being an impulsive shopper, you see? They're holding on to a jacket, they're in a clothing store. Well, it's again, this person overbuys, they overdo. So it doesn't necessarily mean that this is a woman that's going out shopping. It could very well be, but it could also be a man that loves a hobby, is into a hobby, and so they buy everything for their boat, or they buy everything for their motorcycle, or whatever the illusion, the image that they're trying to create. They're not creating themselves. They're buying themselves. It doesn't mean that they don't know how to use that fishing gear or wear those clothes, but we're not our stuff. Overbuying and acting from that level means you're trying to fill yourself. You're trying to fill yourself. There's a need where this person's doing it also because they're trying to influence people. Like, wow, look at what I have. This is how successful I am. This is how you should treat me because I have all this. And it's all because this person like avoids, like, again, judgment. So, and there's a part of this person that's lazy. There's a lot of laziness, and on some level at one time they were, rejected. It's not that they weren't, otherwise they wouldn't be triggered, but this person is actually working a lot. They're avoiding. So this person does work a lot. It's not that they don't, and they're an overachiever. They live beyond their means. And the reason why is because they don't feel safe on an emotional level to let anyone in 100%. So when we, again, have a second chakra imbalance, because that's what that is on a spiritual, technical uh, reason of why a person has intimacy issues, we look at the spirit body, and the spirit body of the chakras, and the second chakra represents one person's individuality. It's their passion for life. It's the emotional center. It's how we can go with the flow of life. What you saw here was that this person tried to control the relationship. They tried to control the relationship, but in them trying to control the relationship, they created a self-fulfilling prophecy, which is, I don't believe I can have love. They thought they were neglecting you. They were neglecting themselves. Because now, hey, they see you from a different place, but, coming back to you, hey, that's going to require work, and this person's lazy. Not when it comes to them, however. They will work and work and work and work to continue to create the illusion by buying things, but also by living above their means. So this person might even be connected to somebody, because a person that works a lot, the money is going somewhere. It's creating an illusion, though. And that is either this person is creating the illusion and just they, can even buy people. Doesn't mean that they are actually buying them. What it means is they're here for a good time, not a long time. So I'll take you to dinner. We'll go to a nice hotel. We'll do this, but then I'm done with you. It's all about the outside, what it looks like, having fun. It's filling the emotional center. And that's a second chakra imbalance, because it makes the person selfish. And we're not here to be selfish. We're here to give and receive of love. And we have to be coming from a high vibration. This person's afraid of rejection down deep inside. So they think they're their money. They think that they're their things, but they are not their things or their money. They're depleted when it comes to love. And that's why they say, well, money can't buy you love. But this person is like, it's buying me love, which puts everybody in a place of disempowerment when they are dealing with this person. But this person really is in a place of disempowerment too, because we don't get our strength and our courage and everything from, just making money and buying shit. That's not what we're really actually supposed to use money as a currency. This person uses money as a weapon. And so it's more like, again, we're here to give and receive of love, and that might come in the form of money in buying or helping someone. But this person, again, uses it as collateral. And so they stay sad because understand there's a sense of, them not really wanting to change because there's habits, and the habits are how they think. It's like relationships are nothing but burdens. Now what's happened is that this person seeing that you're not coming back, and they're angry because they actually still have feelings and you're not conforming. Only type of relationship this person knows how to be in is a karmic contract. And you saw that. You were like, no, I'm not going to stay in a traumatic connection. So you can keep your money. You can keep your money, you can hide behind your things. And if you're connected to somebody, you don't have any love for that person. And that person has no love for you either. They have a love for money. And that's what you're seeing. So you make this person again shatter their self-image because you're a truth speaker. So you want to know what this person's doing? They're drowning their sorrows. Again, a second chakra imbalance, addictions. Addictions come from not being emotionally satisfied. It's again suppressing the emotional center, which, there's grief, there's pain, there's shame, there's victimization, there's guilt, there's all that there that is taking up space because we're an energy being and we can't just get rid of negative energy. We have to actually integrate the spiritual lesson and transmute it by, again, alchemizing it, stepping into a new consciousness. This person doesn't do that. They love their money. That's what they're comfortable with. They hide behind the illusion. They live beyond their means. So no matter how much money they make, it'll never be enough. It'll never be enough because again, this person's suppressing that pain, and that blocks them from being connected to their higher self. And the higher self is the God part of ourself, and the God part of ourself is also not just inside of us, but it's ubiquitous. And so the universe brings us everything that we need. The universe brought you to this person because they need you, but instead of them really embracing it, they were triggered by it. And so it doesn't mean that they don't have feelings. Well, they have feelings, but it's about control, which means that you would have to step outside your comfort zone to be with them, and you're not doing it. And that's really what the problem is. So it's easier for this person to just, you know, uh, be in a relationship where, they can like lie, where they can lie, where people get caught up in the illusion of the relationship, that because it doesn't never go deep. It stays on the surface. It's just an illusion. This person didn't want to miss their chance with you. They don't know that you're a good person. They like, it's not that they don't like you. It's that the type of relationship that you require and the type of relationship that they want to give are two different things. And it's mainly because of their issues. It has nothing to do with you, but it's that this person, again, always has a looming agenda. And it's just like their ideas of what love and intimacy are different than yours. You consider, intimacy to be trust. Like it's not just about in the bedroom. You can be free and open with your body if you have trust. This person doesn't need that. They don't need that. They don't trust anybody. They love their stuff. They love their money. Is again, so they would never, it doesn't match. You got tired of reading between the lines because this person always has a poker face. And that's really what it is. It's like because there are feelings there. So it's very hard to read. And that's really what a karmic connection is. This person wants you to believe that they're a divine union, that you're a divine union. You're not. Because they come in like a whirlwind, and what you see is that they have lot of love blocks and barriers to love. And it's due to whatever they've gone through in life. And so the relationship is childish and they keep it not serious. And it's like you wind up being on a lone path, so you might as well not be with them anyway. And this person is pretty much on a lone path too because they're in love with their stuff. They're wild at heart. They don't like to be in relationships. It makes them feel trapped. It makes them feel unstable. All issues from their childhood and have continued to play out. And this is the way that this person has learned how to be in a relationship, and it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with all their trauma. However, it would definitely get you triggered on how they are because you're like, well, what the hell? Why would the universe bring me a person like that? Well, if we look at their spiritual thing, is it's like this person, first of all, is not on the same level of consciousness. So what they feel is, I can feel that you really have feelings for me, but neither one of us are being honest right now. And it's making this person think, like, why are we both afraid to express ourselves? The thing is, it's like you're not going to express yourself and be open to a person that refuses to be open with you. So again, this person is seeing that you're pulling away and away from them, and it triggers them because they know eventually you're going to leave them for good. So it's not that they're not triggered by the connection, they are. It's that they're fighting their ego. They're not balanced. And so it was easier for them to keep it like in a place of disequilibrium, to like keep it in balance, because you'll never get over me. You'll never get over me. Maybe you'll cave. What they're seeing is that you didn't cave. And so that's why they're in a place of anxiety now, because hey, they pushed this. They know that they pushed it over the line, and really all they did was they neglected themselves, and that's really what it is. Because you can have your money, but you're like, money without love, what you become Scrooge, you know what I mean? It's like it's never going to be enough, because we're not here to just make money. We're here to learn the lessons of love, and this person had the opportunity to do that. It's that they have a lot of spiritual blocks around money. Believe it or not, it doesn't mean that they can't make money, but their thoughts around money are very imbalanced, possibly because this person grew up not having it. And if they do have a karmic, again, that karmic feeds them that other people want their money, when really the karmic is the one that wants their money. And that's the problem. It's like this person stays in that energy. And if they're not with anyone and they're just in love with money, it's due to that past person that they were with, that they realized just wanted them for their money. And so they attract people like themselves, people that emotionally don't give and don't care. They can put on the show and act like they care just to get what they want. And then they're not genuine. And what this person sees is that you're genuine. But it's, again, instead of them wanting to open up, it triggers them due to the fact that they have never healed. So we have to look and see, why did you attract this person into your life? We pull 6, 3. All right, that's 6. And we look disassociated. Well, there we go. And feeling unworthy. That's why you attracted this person into your life right there, because you grew up with that trauma. And when you have that trauma, you don't know the wonders of you, the wonders of the world. You stay detached and disassociated. So it's like there's almost like you lost time and space. It's like you're like, well, other kids like got into whatever they got into, and that could be Barbie dolls or bowling or bike riding or playing with ants or doing whatever the hell that they did growing up. And you didn't do any of that. You feel like, I don't even remember my childhood, don't remember it. And so understand, if you didn't remember it, it doesn't mean that it didn't happen. What it means is that, hey, there was so much trauma around, what was going on at home, where you felt unworthy, not good enough, that you tried to be invisible. You focus more on your safety. So yes, there's a whole empty space, what Spirit's saying, space that you didn't create. And, the innocence was kind of restored in you, because when you detach and disassociate, you're not present anymore. So yes, even though you're in that trauma, everything else that exists doesn't, you don't really like know, because you're not invested. So you're still a child on some level. And just because one person makes you feel not safe doesn't mean that you're not going to let anyone in when you're a child. However, the same karmic theme is going to play out, where you feel like people don't emotionally give, again, make you somehow feel unworthy. And that's what this person made you feel. They made you feel unworthy. even though they had feelings, what they said is, I love my money more. I don't want to change due to my trauma. And Spirit says, so you should have really used your voice a lot sooner. And so understand you had a block in saying, and part of you was like, well, I don't want to say the wrong thing. But this person was committed to only hearing the wrong thing because they didn't want to really be in a relationship. There was a mismatch of what they think love and intimacy is. They think love and intimacy is if you're good looking and they want to have sex with you. There's no problem there. But it's all the other stuff due to their trauma. So when you use your voice right in the beginning and you say, hey, like this is what I want, this is what I don't want, but where you lay your boundaries down, you can tell whether a person wants to be with you or not. And that needs to be done right in the beginning of a relationship, not after everyone's gotten comfortable. And so I feel like being that you grew up in an environment, you always were like, well, I want to give people the benefit of the doubt. I want to treat people the way I want to be treated, which is kind of a little bit, you know, seeing things through too innocent of eyes, not protecting yourself, where trust comes in trusting ourselves. What do we feel first? And then, obviously, making a judgment on what we perceive off the other person, but we always have to have our own boundaries. Giving too much time, too much energy will actually create too much of an emotional connection before you actually knew who you were dealing with, is what Spirit says. So we look and see again, how do we transmute that negative energy? Well, Spirit says now it's time to take bold action because you're going to find your tribe. You're not alone. And so bold action will actually push you out of your comfort zone, which you need to do, because that's where real change occurs. And again, Spirit says, use your passion to fight for what you believe in. So understand there's always going to be people that want to stop you, that want to prevent you from succeeding. Spirit says again, and then no one can stop you, only you can stop you. Connect with other people that are going to be rooting for you and use your passion to fight for what you believe in, because that passion is the energy of unconditional love, and Jesus died for your passion for life. Understand? And that's what Buddha teaches and everybody teaches, whether it's not about you know Jesus. If you don't believe in Jesus, however, there's everyone, all those prophets say, use the energy of love to become love, regardless of what is going on in your environment, because that is how you connect to the energy of the universe. That is how the universe knows exactly what to bring you. We again can detect what you need. And when the student is ready, the teacher appears. You don't need to figure out things ahead of time. Just be in the moment, be in the now, because only in the now will you get divine guidance. And so everything is a co-creation process with you and Spirit. Spirit is always talking to you through what's going on. However, sometimes what's going on are tests. What's going on is, it's again that you need to walk through the fire and embody a whole other consciousness to see yourself different and understand people don't want to see that. They can take more advantage of you when you feel bad about yourself, when you don't like yourself, when you're dependent on what they think. Spirit says you don't depend on those people. You'll find your tribe by again being in the energy of love. Break the silence, find your voice. It's time to express your actual feelings. So understand, if this person was to run to you or come back to you, you have to say what you feel. But it's also when you're creating the world, express how you feel. That's how you lay your boundaries right from the beginning, Spirit says. Not after you're comfortable, not after this person has created a facade, an illusion of who they want you to perceive that they are, but they really aren't. The whole time they were creating illusion. And the Spirit says it's all part of the grand spirit journey. All experiences, good and bad, are what shape your soul's evolution to help you grow. So it's not like, oh, was I deserving of it? No, Spirit says you're jumping into infinite possibilities. And the reason why is because You live authentically and boldly, unafraid to be yourself. So you could be a magnet of who and what's supposed to come into your life now, not, attract the energy from past traumas where you had to disconnect and disassociate because someone in your environment made you feel unworthy. Now understand, Spirit says you had to prove that you knew what your worth was. That's why this was a test. And when you clear those spiritual blockages, which is how we get the test in order to do that. Well, that actually releases stagnant energy from your body because your body is your mind's faithful servant, and that allows you to get more chi, prana, which understand is the same word as spirit, because God is ubiquitous, it's omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscience. And that is what gives us vitality. And so Spirit says you're a being of light. Accept the divine energy in your body, and every one of your cells regenerates. And this is how we upgrade our DNA. We upgrade our DNA by spiritually healing. We wouldn't know what to heal unless certain experiences played out. And that they play out due to the traumas that were buried and suppressed within inside of your subconscious mind. And understand that would happen if you grew up in an environment with a parent that made you feel unworthy. You would have to suppress how you felt a lot because your survival depends on it. Psychological, emotional, or physical survival. The brain doesn't know the difference. So I'm going to leave that there, folks. You let me know how you resonate. If you haven't signed up for this shadow healing coaching program, now is the time. We're going on tomorrow at 4:30 live. Again, you get inner child healing, shadow healing, reparenting, all the healing modalities to help you heal the effects of trauma. I use my oracle cards to do so. It's very interactive. It's very healing. So again, you still have time. All right. Until next time, be true to you. Love you. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.